Says you're live. I don't have headphones, but I don't think I need headphones because I don't allow people to talk during my strong live, whatever we're doing. But we're so not worried about Sleepy Joe. We're so not worried about Sleepy Joe. Look at that. Sleepy Joe doesn't have a camera with a remote control. Okay, total loser. But we're getting ready. We're very strongly prepared for a. I think it's going to be a bloodbath. Okay. I'm going to push Joe Biden when he's not looking. That's how I'm going to start the debate. So, what are the questions? What are the questions? Okay, it's just a bunch of comments. Okay, so I'm still waiting for Uber Eats to deliver my pre-debate sort of powerful meal. But yes, that's a 70. It's a seven. No, that's not a $70,000 haircut over 10 years. 70,000 worth of deductions. It's called a business expense. Is MJ an alien? Who's MJ? Don't know. Are you currently mad at Canada? I don't know why I would have to be mad at Canada, but we'll look into it. We'll look into it very strongly if they are doing nasty things. Why an orange tie? It's red. It's just the lighting, and you're stupid. Did Putin and Kim coach you for the debate? No, Putin didn't, but Kim Kardashian did offer me some stress release because she's not doing so well with Kanye, who's a little bit crazy, but as long as he takes votes from Sleepy Joe Biden, we're okay with him. Okay, so everybody's just pumping in. Am I on drugs? No, I'm high on life. I'm high on life, Diet Coke, and 2-for-1 apple pies at McDonald's. Why do I lie about everything? I don't lie about everything. I'm the most honest person you've ever had a YouTube live chat with. Am I inspecting Biden's ears? We're going to look very closely. Sleepy Joe is going to have an earpiece. We have great intel that tells us people are going to be feeding him answers through an earpiece. And I'm going to walk up to him very strongly. And when you see me, it's going to look like, remember Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield? Well, in this case, I'm Tyson. And I'm going to walk very powerfully up to his ear and bite it off just to make sure there's no earpiece, okay? Because you can't be too safe with Sleepy Joe. Why am I jealous of Obama? Not jealous at all. Is Michael Jackson an alien? I'm not answering any questions about Michael Jackson, so we'll do that very strongly. We'll nip that in the bud. Somebody said Joe will slay me tonight. I think not. I think he's going to have a tough enough time just standing for 90 minutes, to be honest. I think you're going to see Sleepy Joe at about the 90-minute mark we're going to call him Wobbly Joe. Right now I call him Jitterbug Joe because unlike me, who uses a very powerful smartphone, it's called cognitive, okay? Sleepy Joe uses a jitterbug. You can't do apps. They have the big buttons because he's so old. How deep are you prepared to dig in Joe's ear for that earpiece? Well, I just told you I was going to bite his ear off. I think that's even deeper than digging. Any comments about my friend Jeffrey Epstein? Well, I say a quick prayer as a great Christian. I say a quick prayer before the debate for the soul of Jeff Epstein that he can guide me. Okay, the same way he dominated teenagers in Florida as a mentor, as a strong mentor, an employer. I hope for that same dominance tonight in the debate. But I don't like to think too much about Jeff Epstein. It makes me very upset when you lose such a powerful and close friend who was definitely not murdered at my request under the guidance of Attorney General Bill Barr. That never happened. No mask. Well, I'm in the pre-debate stage. Who's asking if I have a mask? I'm in the pre-debate stage. Why do I need a mask? Can I get COVID from YouTube? Is this a thing we need to look into? Well, we'll see. We'll see very strongly. Explain your taxes is not a question, but I'm a genius at the tax code. And as long as, Russian mobsters don't come to collect the $400 million I owe in the next 4 years, I'll be totally okay. What does Ivanka do to earn her consulting fees? Well, I mean, have you seen her? Just having her walk around the office is sort of worth a strong fee. But she's a very good consultant. She consults me on wardrobe and she just she consults by making me feel good. I think that's a powerful consulting sort of thing. Stupid question. Joe Biden is more handsome than you. Well, that's not true. Okay. Now, to be fair, Jill Biden, I'll give Joe one credit. Okay. Jill Biden is a lot better looking than he deserves, but she's no melatonin. Okay. And she's more like a poor man's Martha Maples. Remember Martha Maples, my second wife, who had I think she had a kid. We don't know. But melatonin is, you think Jill Biden can be as great a first lady as mesothelioma? She's a model, and also did some snuff films early in her career. So she's a very sort of multi-talented, beautiful lady. When will I declare bankruptcy? Well, I like to take advantage of the bankruptcy laws, so we'll probably do that strongly when the time comes. Okay, but not anytime soon. We're doing very well. Have I spoken to The Rock regarding his Biden endorsement? No, I don't need to talk to The Rock. I have Kid Rock, okay, who is, as you know, a much more powerful form of rock because he plays rock. He does rap, but he also plays rock. So he's Kid Rock playing rock, which is two rocks. The Rock is one rock, and he doesn't even like to be called The Rock. He tries to be Dwayne Johnson. I raised my eyebrow. Nobody cares. They call you The Rock, and you don't even want to be called The Rock. He's like ashamed of The Rock. So no, we have Kid Rock who plays rock, which is double the rock of Dwayne Johnson. Is John Voight going to be in attendance tonight? I don't know, but I know he's going to be praying very strongly for me. He's a strong, devout Christian and patriot, and a great actor, by the way. So I don't know if he'll be there tonight, but I know he'll be praying for me and, possibly double teaming some barely legal women with James Woods after. So that's a good thing. It's all about being together in the time of the COVID, or as I call it, the flu-jitsu. A lot of people like the new nickname I have, flu-jitsu. Will I take medical enhancers before the debate? Nope. I'm taking, it's called Diet Coke and Strong Presidential Energy, okay? SP, that's what we're doing. And we're going to be selling T-shirts with that after the debate to try and make some money because we're a little in debt. Will Chachi be your next Secretary of Defense? We're looking into that. Scott Baio, Antonio Sabato Jr. are sort of in the running for being strong cabinet members in our second term, which, as you know, we're going to get because Sleepy Joe is terrible. Was Stormy any good? I don't know who Stormy is. I don't know who that is. I'm a happily married man to Madagascar Trump. So I don't know any Stormy. I know I've had sex with many beautiful models and actresses and wonderful women, but I don't know a Stormy. She was okay. Hello, Mr. President. We love you, MAGA 2020. Well, thank you. Thank you. I think you're in the wrong chat, but thank you. Does Sleepy Joe turn on Mike Pence? Well, now we're getting to sort of strong questions. I'm surprised nobody's asking about debate questions, though. It's kind of is this like a Democrat chat? Mike Pence sort of looks at Joe Biden as his arch nemesis. Okay. He's like, you handsome, white-haired. I think it's sort of Mike Pence looks at Joe Biden and thinks, what would it be like to have strong, Christian, powerful sex with myself if I was 20 years older? So I think there's a real sort of interesting Christian dynamic there with our great Vice President, Mike Pence. Was Melania a hooker? Tear, laugh, emoji. Oh, that's a good joke. No, hooker is not what she was, okay? She was a woman who was free to choose, who had a lot of options as a beautiful young model making great money in Transylvania. And she chose to sign an exclusive deal with a very strong man. He was a very tough guy, okay? And a lot of the women around her called him daddy, even though I don't think he was their father. and she decided to sign an exclusive contract with him, and he brought her to this country, and we negotiated terms, and she became my wife. So farthest thing from a hooker. She's an independent businesswoman who made strong decisions, who's contractually obligated to have powerful sex with me once a month per our very legal prenup agreement. What is the most MAGA state in my opinion? Okay, I like that. That's a good question. The most MAGA state, I would say, we got to do. There's two paths you can choose. I believe either Alabama or Mississippi is sort of the strongest. They love Trump. Okay, they're sort of two of the dumbest states. They're very stupid people. Not everybody, but most of them. I mean, they put Jeff Sessions in the Senate, and he's one of the dumbest Keebler elves I've ever met. And he was a senator. Okay, so if he's the best they can do, not so strong in that state. And Mississippi is just dead last in every category except fat people, which I think they're number one and number two. So those would be strong MAGA states. But the truest MAGA state in spirit, okay, and as a great Christian, I care about the spirit and faith, great faith. Florida. There's no greater MAGA state. Even though it's a 50-50 state, the 50% that are pro-Trump in Florida are so MAGA. Mountain Dew for brains, silicone tits on like middle schoolers, just an unbelievable trash state. Every other person is a single mom on TikTok in Florida. I think that's their main export now is big-breasted single moms on TikTok. So it's a total joke, but I love it because it's the most MAGA spirit of any state. So it's either Mississippi, Alabama on the data, we call it great data, or it's Florida because they have the MAGA spirit in them. So it's a beautiful thing. The questions are coming. What does BLM stand for me? BLM is, I'd say it's one of the it's not my favorite sandwich to get, but it's a good sandwich. Do I think I have a shot with Judge Amy Coney Barrett? Well, we're both powerful Christians, and I will say this. Her skirt was a little shorter than I expected when she came for a great interview. When I chose Brett Kavanaugh originally, it felt like I was casting like a Supreme Court porn. First, I cast the man first, the very powerful, aggressive guy. We're calling it Snuff Supreme Court because Kavanaugh's, he's not doing any Skinamax sort of playgirl type, wind blowing in the air type. He does the rough stuff. And Amy Coney Barrett, when she showed up in a shorter skirt, I said, okay, well, I know that you're a powerful Catholic and somebody with deep faith, but you're also wearing a skirt that isn't quite work appropriate. So I look forward to seeing Kavanaugh and Barrett get it on, but I think I would have a good chance. Mr. President, explain QAnon to the libs. I don't know QAnon. I think they support me. And I think we're looking into very strongly the pedophiles in the pizza shops and the lizard people. And the fact that, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, allegedly, but I think we have some good things. I think they drink the blood of children. We don't know, but it's a theory and we're looking into it very strongly. But no, I don't know QAnon. I know they support me, so I like that. Mr. President, how did you become so strong at debating? Well, it's an interesting question, very interesting. I think it comes from when I was a young real estate developer learning the business from my father. We would evict poor people. Now we say people of color. Fred Trump used to say something totally different than people of color. He was a tough guy. He was a tough guy, Fred Trump, the great Fred Trump. And we would evict the people of color from areas before we'd buy up the buildings and the properties. And before we would call, mobsters to just beat them out of their apartments, he would let me debate them as to why they couldn't stay in the apartments. And I'd say, I'm the son of the great Fred Trump. We don't want you in this neighborhood. And I would sometimes say, we don't want your kind in this neighborhood. It was in a previous time, but I was respectful. And that was how I sort of worked on my early debating skills. And they only got better from, you saw me with Crooked Hillary. It was so incredible, so incredible. Will clean coal clean the COVID? Well, that's, you know what, we're looking into that. That's, finally we're getting a strong question. We're looking into very powerfully whether clean coal can clean COVID, because you never hear this. What if you hit somebody in the face with a big piece of coal while they have COVID? What if that, you know, when somebody is in the coal mines, okay? I learned this from the great historical film Zoolander. When you're in the coal mines, you get something called black lung, which is a very scary sort of lung, if you know what I mean. Like the black lung, very scary. And you don't want the black lung moving into your neighborhood. And so what if COVID hits the lungs, right? As you know, it hits the lungs very powerfully. What if the coal goes into the lung, and because the coal is black and the COVID, you've seen it, it has like the little red dots on its head. So it's sort of a redhead. It's probably Irish. COVID's probably Irish, even though it came from China. It's got Irish roots because it's a redhead. I think the black coal moving into the COVID lung will scare all the Irish COVID right out of the lung. So I think that's worth exploring. And I thank you for the question. Thank you. Will I be wearing my powerful depends at the debate, Mr. President? Well, you said Mr. President. That's finally somebody showing proper respect. I tell you, if you put Sir and Mr. President in your questions, you're going to get asked a lot quicker. I am wearing depends, okay, because not because I have any problem down there, believe me. They're Magnum depends, by the way. They're the extra large because, a lot of poop. And it's because I'm too busy. I'm like that astronaut lady one time who went to like kill her lover, who drove cross country and put the diapers on because she didn't want to wait. So I thought, that's a great plan. We're going to do that. We're going to do that very strongly. And so now I never have to take a bathroom break. So it's not because I have a problem. It's because I'm too powerful and busy. Am I afraid? Oh, Mr. President, sir, that's how I like it. Am I afraid to go to prison for tax evasion if I lose the election? Well, first of all, I'm not losing the election. Secondly, we'll cancel the election if I lose the election. And I'm not evading taxes. I'm not scared of taxes. I stand right there and I say, I'm not paying you. Tax evasion means you run away from taxes. You're evading the taxes. But I stand there and say, I'm not paying. Okay, very strongly. I say, I'm not paying taxes. Totally different than tax evasion. Sir, where the hell is my Blacknum plan? Well, you saw the video, and I think you should check it out on a channel of a failed comedian. His name's J.L. Covan, total loser. And the Blacknum plan is a strong plan for African Americans. We're going to send gift boxes of many things that they need. And it's, all they have to do is not vote for Sleepy Joe. Mr. President, sir, I heard Biden would ask for a break every 30 minutes. What's your response? My response is Sleepy Joe. Remember Drago? Remember the great Russian Drago from Rocky IV? What a great guy that was. That's when I first fell in love with Russia, because Apollo Creed, who was African American, very arrogant, very sort of rude, and Drago just took him out. And I rooted so strongly for Drago in that. And that's where I sort of became a fan of Russia. And I'm not allowing Joe Biden any breaks. Instead, I will break him in honor of my great friend Drago. I will break Joe Biden before he gets to take one of his old man pee breaks. The questions are coming in so fast, it's hard to read. They're just coming. Slow down. How about that? Oh, okay. You almost slow down. Mr. President, do you spray paint your face every morning? No, this is a natural thing. It's a total natural glow. What's your favorite thing to do with Barron? I think you're in the wrong chat. I don't know any Barons. Madam President Trump, do you think you've been president a bit too long already? That's incorrect. I'm not a madam. I'm a sir. I'm a sir, a double sir. Oh, somebody's telling me you can scroll them back down. Okay, well, I don't need your help. I don't need your help, okay? Okay, actually, that helped. I got to be honest, I don't like the tips, but that really sort of kind of worked. Okay, so now, oh, look at this. Now everybody, we can actually read the questions. We love the technology. We love the strong technology. And did you have any sneak questions to trick Sloppy Joe? Uh, no, we don't need trick questions for Sloppy Joe. He's a total loser, and we're going to ask the questions, and he's going to lose, and it's going to be beautiful. Mr. Trump, are you a master debater? Well, Mike, relax. He said debater. Mike, he's always. You ever see the way Mike Pence looks at me? I think he wants to, see what I'm working with. It's sort of disturbing, but he's a great Christian, very loyal. Have I ever played catch with Baron? Okay, this goes for the whole chat. This is a message for the whole chat. We'll try to be helpful. I don't know a Baron. I have no idea who Baron is. Okay, no idea. So let's move on. No more questions about made up people. I mean, I'm sure there's a Baron somewhere, but I don't know this Baron. Sir President, I just donated to your GoFundMe. Thank you for the privilege. Well, thank you. Thank you. We're doing very strong. I don't know if any of you saw the video today. There's a powerful announcement. My finances are totally in control, but to more fan outreach, I've started a Patreon and a GoFundMe and an OnlyFans. Okay, on the OnlyFans, you can see some of Melania's at the highest level, some of her earlier work. I think they call it snuff. And there's all sorts of great levels to the page. It's so just, to support your president, you should look at the great things we're starting. Do I pray? Oh, sir, how much do you have to teach Fauci about viruses or disinfectants? We're sort of done with Fauci. We're sort of done with him. He didn't really bring anything to the table. He's very little. I think he's a bit of a showboat. And we're doing look at how great Florida is doing. They opened up. Everything's opened up. And, soon we'll be everywhere open up, a strong country coming back. Sleepy Joe couldn't do that. Sir, Mr. President, sir, after Amy Coney Barrett, will Lion Ted be your next choice for the Supreme Court? The Bible held high, he puts it down, and then he lies. That was the first part of that sounded like a question. The other part, I don't know what you were talking about. Ted Cruz is definitely in the running for the Supreme Court, although I like Tom Cotton because Ted Cruz, even though he doesn't really scare anybody, Tom Cotton is, old school, and I like that name Cotton. A Southern white guy named Cotton, you can't get more Trump than that. Am I Putin's puppet? I am not Putin's puppet. You're Putin's puppet. Sir, stop talking about Rocky. JL used that in his stand-up to describe U.S. history. Not as well as I described it, okay? So he's a failed comedian. We don't like that. Mr. President, sir, when will women get our special boxes and what will be in them? Well, Bethany, I'm going to call you out by name. If you play your cards right, mesothelioma, my wife, she may be the current Mrs. Trump, but she's not the final Mrs. Trump. So if any women out there who are very attractive and love MAGA, want something special for their boxes, the Trump presidency can deliver without a doubt, very strongly. Okay, everybody's making the master debater joke, and I'm a president with a bad sense of humor, so I don't criticize it. But if I were a comedian, I would be criticizing so strongly the amount of, they call them hack jokes. Mr. Trump, when are you getting divorced? I don't know if Sleepy Joe's going to ask that in the debate, but I can tell you that, okay, Madagascar is in the next room, so I have to be sort of quiet. As soon as I'm out of office, bye-bye. Okay, she's already over 50. It's like terrifying. Okay, it's not a pretty show. So, but never gonna leave mesothelioma. She is the love of my life. Okay, bye. Have fun at doing whatever you're doing. Okay, we're done soon with the mesothelioma. Would you win against sheep in boxing match. Okay, well, I can tell when I'm getting questions from people who are not strong Americans, and they usually are missing words like the and things, very powerful American words like the. So, nope. So, Mr. President, sir, Mr. President, sir, you were my favorite WWE superstar. Now, that's a question that I like. It's not even a question, it's just a compliment. And that's a beautiful thing. I thank you. I think that's the best question of the night so far because it's not a question. It's very nice. We like that. We like that very strongly. Does Ivanka have breast implants? And if so, do they feel natural? She does. Okay. The doctor told me that 13 was too young. But I said, no, I disagree. And they feel, we did several tests and they feel incredibly real. Like I'm not going to buy when I specifically told the doctor, I said, in porns, when the woman with the bad boob job, she leans over and then you can see like the wrinkle of the bag and it looks like, like somebody who put a Ziploc bag that's all wrinkled in we don't want that. So I had to be very hands-on, literally and figuratively, to make sure she had only the highest quality. Now, when they put the silicone bag in the breast, I did have them stamp it Trump with the Trump family logo, like the brand. So, because I like to put my name on things. So within her beautiful body is, two substantial implant bags that have Trump stamped on them. So, when she's long and gone and buried in our great American soil, those Trump implant bags will still be there. So it's called great cognitive. Sir, what did you do in debate prep with Chris Christie? Oh, that's a good question. Mostly ate. He brought in McDonald's and we sat and we talked and we ate. And he does a decent Joe Biden impression. He does a pretty good sleepy Joe Biden. What Chris Christie did was he used the same cliches that Joe uses. He says, it's not a hoax, it's about jobs. And he talked about dead people because Joe Biden, here's the thing, everywhere Joe Biden goes, somebody dies. It's like, I don't know, this guy might be the Grim Reaper. I don't know if we can have the Grim Reaper being president. And then Chris Christie pissed his pants, and I don't know if he was just playing Joe Biden or if he just, he's so fat he doesn't know what's happening. But that, I think it was very powerful, strong debate prep. I think he did a very strong job. Why are you such a creep? Not a creep. Okay, it's called president. Mr. President, sir, if McDonald's is unavailable, what food will you have? Well, I don't like Burger King because we don't have a king here, so I don't do that. What I do, I just said doo-doo. How about that? My next choice is Arby's as a tribute to RBG. I think that's very nice. Nobody gives me credit. Roast beef Ginsburg, that's what we called her. Are you the best golfer ever? One of. I would not, I think if I had been a pro golfer, which I could have very easily, I would have probably been the best sort of golfer. But I don't beat Tiger every time we play. He usually wins half the time. So I think it's a question. I think it's a good question. But I think if I'm being honest, I think right now, no. But I think had I gone into golf professionally instead of becoming very powerful in real estate, I think I could have been the greatest ever. Like, Jack Nicklaus told me that I was the best he ever saw. Mr. President, sir, have you been dieting? Well, thank you. Somebody finally noticed. I have cut down for the campaign. I've cut down to only 2 McDonald's meals a day instead of my usual 4. And you can never be too healthy. I mean, you can be too healthy, but, I just figured I want to be a little lighter out there. Okay. So I'm more tough and more ready for, powerful crowds and, COVID's totally scared of me. So I'm not afraid, but if you lose a few pounds, it can help. It can help the immune system. But I think the fact that I raw dogged the entire 1980s and never got the Tom Hanks disease, I think that proves very powerfully that my immune system is sort of can't be defeated. It's sort of an unbelievably strong immune system. Even Fauci said it, and he's a little piece of shit, if I can use that language. We're all among friends. Okay, we're looking for a new question. Mr. Putin, sir, I mean Trump, please adjust your wig flap. Not a wig, totally. I decided to go with more of a boy band Trump look tonight rather than the traditional Trump power look to appeal to the young people. Okay. Mr. President, sir, why do you keep mentioning Obama? I haven't mentioned Obama, but now I'll mention Obama. He's a total disgrace. I don't think I can be honest with you now, I still don't think he's a citizen. And, he was, he passed a law in 2009 to help the economy that I took great advantage of. And if there's one thing I don't like, it's feeling like I was helped by an athletically built, handsome, smart, caring African American. I hate that. I don't like that. So no, I'm very mad that he thought he could help me. He can't help me, and I'm not going to help him. Sir, Mr. President, sir, what was your favorite on-screen cameo, and why is it Home Alone 2? That's such terrible comedy. That's like how Don Jr. would ask a question. But it's Home Alone 2, and it's because I think it's the most successful film ever made. I think if you look at the numbers, no movie made more money than Home Alone 2 in the history of movies anywhere. And I think it helped that I was in that movie. I haven't been in a lot of movies, but I was in that one, and it went right to the top. Any debate questions? Everybody's asking sort of, we're still trying to prep for the debate, okay? Chris Christie is blow drying his urine-stained pants, and, he's Mr. President, sir. Mr. Trump, did they find the P-tape? No, there's no P-tape. There's no P-tape because when I was negotiating with Putin, what we did was we took the tapes and the prostitutes, and they went bye-bye. I'll leave it at that. But no, there's no P-tapes. No P-tapes. I don't know why people are asking about P-tapes. They were destroyed. They were, and we made sure they were destroyed. Very patriotic. Mr. President, sir. So many Mr. President, sirs. How can you be so delusional? No, I'm actually a Christian. I don't know what delusional religion is. I'm a powerful, a very strong Christian. So, sir, did you deduct your abortions from your taxes in the 80s and 90s? No, because they don't allow that. And that's, I wanted it as a business expense, but they didn't allow it. I fired my accountant when they told me I couldn't, but no, they said I couldn't. And Mr. President, can you please grab me by the pussy? Well, now that's what I'm talking about. This is the kind of debate prep that I think is very strong and very useful. We can arrange that. I think we can have a strong internship program, and that can be part of it. It's called consent. If that's very well-known law, my good friend liberal lawyer Alan Dershowitz at one of Jeff Epstein's sex parties with teenagers, so he's trustworthy and very law-abiding. He told me very powerfully. He said, if they ask it in a YouTube chat, totally legal. What odds are you giving me on Flujitsu tonight? Flujitsu doesn't stand a chance. We're totally defeating Flujitsu. Hi. I like that. That's a nice question. Hi. Is Junior snorting coke right now? Don Jr. is probably going to have to go to rehab, but not for his drug addiction, just for being addicted to girlfriends that are ugly versions of my wives. It's sort of sad. If you watch the women he's dated, they always look like worse versions of the women I'm with. It's like, I already think you're a loser, and now you look like a copycat loser. Totally pathetic. But he's my son, and we have great love. Will I have a push-up contest with Sleepy Joe tonight? Now that's a debate question. Okay, finally somebody is getting it. I will gladly do a push-up contest, but the problem is Sleepy Joe has no muscle anymore. He's just sort of like a light. He's like a bird. There's nothing to him. Whereas I have sort of a power lifter body. Okay, very strong, very thick. So it's sort of unfair for me to do 10 push-ups is like the equivalent of Joe Biden doing 250. So if I can do 2 push-ups, okay, if I do 2 push-ups, Sleepy Joe has to do 62, I think, with the math. And if he can't do that, then I win. So I'll have a fair. I will have a free and fair push-up contest, but not if it's rigged. Not if it's rigged against the powerlifting body. Is the earth flat? That's a good question. We're looking into it. It could be. I think there's evidence that it might be. But we'll see. We'll see what happens if maybe it's not so flat. Maybe it needs some implants if it's a flat earth. Has anybody ever thought of that? Giving the earth powerful implants so that it's definitely not flat. Am I a criminal? No, I'm a president. I'm a powerful president and a great real estate person, very strongly. Is Ivanka a natural blonde? That's a good question. I will say that, for her 12th birthday, we bought her a lifetime waxing package from the spa near Trump Tower. So at this point, who even knows? Who even knows? But it's called great parenting. It's called great father-daughter time. Okay, somebody's asking a stupid question. And there we go. Goodbye. Love the hair. Well, thank you. Somebody's a strong supporter. Oh, here, finally, a debate question. Your tremendousness. I like from here on out for the rest of the chat. We got about 15 more minutes. I want to be referred to as your tremendousness. You asked for Sleepy Joe to get tested so he could be caught using PEDs. Oh, PEDs. Are you worried that should you get tested, you would test positive for ground up Adderall taken nasally? Nasally, Vice President Pence, not anally. You can calm down. I would not test positive for anything. I am sort of, I have powerful energy. I don't know why people find this so difficult. I'm a strong person. I'm very tough. I'm very, knowledgeable and full of energy because I love our country. I love our country and I have great wealth. So every day I wake up saying, it's so great to be me. And that's all I need. I don't need Adderall. I don't need any of these sort of things that people like to say in the fake news. What was Ivanka's hottest age? 26. Where is Brad Parscale? He's canceled. How about that? No, we wish him well. He may have stolen from the campaign, and it turns out that he, was possibly thinking about taking several lives because he's such a strong Second Amendment guy that he was thinking of, using his guns on people, and he didn't. But I think we don't. You can't question his commitment. He's definitely, a strong. Talk about MAGA state. He's walking around with no shirt, threatening violence, stealing money from the campaign. There's nothing more MAGA Florida than Brad Parscale. So we wish him well, and we hope that he gets the help that he needs because he's a great patriot. Tremendousness. How will you wake up Sleepy Joe when he falls asleep at the podium? I'm not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kick the podium out from under him and watch him fall to the ground. And we're going to put that in campaign ads. And it's going to be called Sleepy Joe is out for the count. Okay. That's going to be our new ad. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Who does Jesus love more, Trump or Sleepy Joe? Well, Jesus doesn't love Joe Biden because, Jesus was very tough. Okay. He was a very tough guy. He wasn't about love. He was about toughness. And Jesus knows that Sleepy Joe wants to beat up God. He wants to attack God. He wants to push God down a flight of stairs. If Sleepy Joe becomes President Sleepy Joe, which is so sad to even think about, God is done. God is done. God will be so done, it will be the scariest thing you've ever seen. And Jesus knows that Sleepy Joe wants to beat up God, so we're not going to let him do it. We're not going to let him do it. We're going to protect God, and God knows that. So Jesus and God love Trump. Did I really want Ivanka to be my running mate? No, I think they made a mistake. More fake news. Not running. I just said I wanted Ivanka to be my mate because she's so beautiful and talented. And, we have laws and that's sort of looked down upon. So, I didn't do it. But it wasn't running mate. It wasn't to be on the ticket. I said I'd wanted Ivanka to be my mate, like for life, sort of like a wife. If she wasn't my daughter, because we have great respect for the law. I mean, if we didn't have the law, I think it would be a different story, but we have the law. We might look into changing it. I know Judge Amy Coney Barrett, I think, has some weird ideas about sort of sex and love and things like that. So we're going to see if maybe she wants to sort of take, I think, a powerful look at sort of our laws governing father-daughter. We already have father-daughter dances, so why can't we have father-daughter, other things? I think that's a fair question. Do my kids pay taxes? That's a good question. I'm sure they pay tax. We're very law-abiding people. I'm sure they pay taxes. Where is Barron? I said I'm muting all questions about Barron. I don't know who Barron is. Everybody keeps talking about this. It's pathetic, to be honest. Oh, okay. So this woman says, can you admit that Trudeau is hot? Justin Trudeau is sort of your classic example. He's the example. Okay, here's what I'll say. Canada is like a small college, okay, with not many hot people. And Justin Trudeau walks in and he's like a 5, but the country is all bundled up in sweaters and fishing and playing hockey, and all the hockey people have no teeth. All the women are busy, like covered up in 19 layers of clothes because it's a total winter wasteland. And then all of a sudden, here comes Justin Trudeau. He's sort of a New York 5 and he's a Canada 12. And I think he's very happy up there because everybody, Justin Trudeau, so handsome, so handsome. Not handsome. He's not America handsome. He's Canada okay. Okay. And in America, he'd be like, who's sorry that you have such an average boyfriend? He's like Luke Wilson, right? He's like you know who he is? He's a sad, pathetic version of our Paul Rudd. That's how great we are. We have Paul Rudd. So you have Trudeau, and he's sort of your greatest thing in Canada, and he's a total loser, and he's not handsome. In America, he'd be a nothing. Mr. President, do you listen to music, and who? No, I don't listen to the. Oh, you're asking who? But I don't listen to the Who because they're not American. I listen to Lee Greenwood because I'm proud to be an American. I listen to Kid Rock and Ted Nugent because they're friends of mine. But other than that, I don't enjoy music, movies, books, television. I like television. That's the only, I think television is our greatest art. It's sort of the highest level of art we have. So I watch television, but I don't like any of the other art forms. I hate paintings. Music sucks. Poetry is a total scam, including deaf poetry. Poetry was bad enough until, loud African Americans started yelling it at me. And then I was like, I definitely don't. That's why they call it deaf poetry, because they yell it so that even the deaf can hear their terrible poems. Okay, so Biden 2020. Okay, so that's a loser. A lot of Biden 2020. Total losers. It's amazing. Notice they're not at a Biden chat because he doesn't do strong chats. He's too busy. He's getting his dentures fixed right now, and Jill, his wife, is telling him, not to fall asleep because you're Sleepy Joe. A lot of Justin Trudeau fans, other losers. Covfefe. I already explained, and that's a good one. Covfefe is it's the cure for COVID. That's what we're going to call it. Mr. President, are you ready? 15 minutes left until debate. No, that's why we're ending it around 8:55. So I have 5. That's all I need. 5 minutes to get ready for Sleepy Joe. I'm going to get out there. I'll give you how about this? Okay. I know we have a lot of questions coming. Somebody asked me, was I hot as an infant? Let me tell you something. All the nurses thought I was the hottest baby. So yes, is the answer to that. I'll give you a preview right now. Okay. A strong preview, exclusive. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mention Hunter Biden a lot. I'm going to say that Joe Biden is not a good parent. And I'm going to say that I wouldn't let Hunter Biden anywhere near the great, beautiful, sexy Ivanka. I'm going to talk a lot about China and Hunter. And I'm going to talk about the crime bill. We're going to talk about that nasty crime bill. And I'm going to say that Joe Biden is on drugs and a loser. And I'm going to interrupt him a lot because I'll give Crooked Hillary credit. I interrupted her a lot, and Crooked Hillary she took it. She was a stone cold customer. Sleepy Joe is going to stutter. He's going to get mad. He's going to call me Jack, right? I think he's going to say to me, hey, listen now, Jack. And then I'm going to say, sorry, my name's Donald. I guess you're losing it, Sleepy Joe. And then he's going to get flustered about that. So I'm going to win the debate by watching Joe Biden lose it. That's all I have to do. I'm the champ. It's like boxing, where if you're the champion, you can play a defensive match, okay? A very strong defensive match. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to jab him and watch him lose the fight. And they can't take it. They can't take the presidential belt from me if I don't lose the title. So that's the strategy. Let's see what other questions we have. Am I going to fist fight Chris Wallace with these little hands? No, because I have very strong, powerful, big Twitter hands. And you'll catch the Twitter hands if you keep asking nasty questions like that. I guess everybody's starting to leave for the debate. That's a good thing. Oh no, they're not. We have powerful. We're almost at 1,000 people. 1,000 people. Nobody ever saw this. Nobody ever had this many in a chat. Little hands. Okay, that's a loser. Oh, here we go. This is a good debate question. Your Excellency, marry, screw, kill. Melania, Ivanka, Tiffany. Okay. Well, we kill Tiffany because I don't even know who that is, but I won't miss her. And I screw Melatonin because she's done it professionally. As hot as Ivanka is, Melatonin is a professional banger. Okay. And so you screw Melatonin and then you marry Ivanka because, you don't get more perfect than that. If it was legal, if it was sort of legal, we would do that. But nobody respects law more than me. How will Mike Pence and I celebrate after I mop the floor with Sleepy Joe? That's a question. Well, I'm going to first do a Patreon Q&A, patreon.com/MPGA. I'm going to do because we go for the fans first. And then we're going to go out and we're going to go. There's a 24-hour McDonald's in Cleveland. We already, it's called quality sort of scouting. We scout very strongly. So we found a 24-hour McDonald's and we're going to go to it very powerfully and order up all the food. And then we're just going to sit and watch Mike Pence's favorite movie, Bohemian Rhapsody, while eating chicken nuggets and apple pies. See how American that is? Do you see Sleepy Joe is probably going to go to an Antifa, Black Lives Matter, angry party. Okay. So anti-American. We're going to be watching strong movies with great American food and a great American president and vice president. Okay. We got a couple more questions and then we're going to go. What ratings do I expect tonight? Well, here's the problem. The problem is Sleepy Joe. My ratings are going to be so powerful. But Sleepy Joe, I think he's going to drag it down because this is not like a heavyweight matchup. Okay. Hillary Clinton, totally crooked, but a heavyweight. Tough. Okay. Tough. So people wanted to see that. But they know I'm going to destroy Sleepy Joe. He's going to get out there and he's going to just, I'm sleepy. And it's so late, by the way. It's so late. He's already usually in bed with a warm glass of milk. So I stay up tweeting till 5 a.m. So I'm ready. I'm just usually waking up from my power nap to tweet at night right now. So Sleepy Joe is in for a world of hurt, but I think that's going to hurt our powerful ratings. People will tune in to see me, but they don't want to see Sleepy Joe. They know what's the point in watching? Master of the Universe, can you please use N-word energy tonight against Sleepy Joe? No. N-word Snowden is the guy who we're going to pardon because Putin asked me. Can I sing Macho Man as I walk out on stage? No, that's what Mike Pence, right? Thank you, Mike. That's what VP Pence is going to do. He's going to do that before the vice president debate. And by the way, our great vice president is going to do a live chat a week from today, same time. So we're letting him use the Trump the Internet channel to do a powerful, very heterosexual, very Christian, and very patriotic vice president chat before the debate. So if you've ever wanted to ask the great Mike Pence questions, he's going to be here so strongly 1 week from tonight doing his own pre-chat. So I think that's a nice thing that I'm letting him do because he thinks YouTube is a tool of the devil. So I told him he didn't have to form his own channel. He could just use, the very powerful presidential channel. And let's do 2 more questions, okay? Too many questions coming through. Would I be willing to race Biden in a 50-yard dash for the win? Absolutely. I don't think that guy can barely walk, and you see how I walk. I drag that right leg because I'm too powerful. There's too much muscle. People say I had a stroke or I'm having cognitive decline. No, I drag the right leg because it's so muscular. That's my push-off leg. It's so strong that I have to walk in a different way because I have so much power in my right leg. Last question, and I thank you, everybody. Thank you so strongly. Obviously, you should subscribe to the channel. The Trump, big news for tomorrow. We're launching on the other channel, the J.L. Covan channel. We are launching the Trump Kings of Comedy, a new comedy special. So be sure you subscribe to both channels and share that video. It's going to be quite powerful. The Trump Kings of Comedy. But last question, and also making podcasts great again. If you like I'm doing so much more than Obama and Biden. We have a podcast, Making Podcasts Great Again. We have 2 YouTube channels. Incredible content, totally incredible content. And the last question. The pressure's building, everybody. The last question. Here it is. Mr. President, your tremendousness, total respect. Will you fire Joe Biden after the debate? I'm actually going to say it. I'm going to remind people of my great apprentice days, and I'm going to look at them and say, Sleepy Joe, you're fired. And it's going to be a beautiful thing. So thank you for joining your president. Okay. And you're welcome, by the way. This was obviously one of the great things that's ever happened to you. So watch me defeat Sleepy Joe on Fox News. And then we'll have the post-game Q&A on patreon.com/MPGA. And that's it, folks. Thank you so much. And be sure to share this. It's going to be a total video, so you can relive all the fun moments and share it with everybody. But I just hope Ivanka wore something extra tight tonight because I need that big, we call it big father energy, BFE. Okay, so I guess we'll find out soon and we'll see what happens.